The widow stood at the wooden stand, her hands shaking as the judge's sharp words cut through the quiet courtroom. Your story doesn't hold water, Mrs. Harper. Her late husband's medal sat dimly in the evidence box nearby, a faint reminder of his service. For months, she had battled for the survivor benefits she was owed, but the judge in his black robe leaned back, his face etched with doubt. His voice dripped with disdain. People come here with stories every day. I need evidence, tangible proof of your husband's honorable service. Before we continue this tale, drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from. We'd love to know. Let's get into it. A murmur of shock rippled through the courtroom. The widow's face collapsed, tears tracing paths down her cheeks. Her husband had died serving overseas, yet here she stood, accused of deceit. The opposing attorney's smug grin widened, his neatly arranged papers a fortress of confidence as he sensed her case slipping away. But, Your Honor, she said, her voice cracking, my husband was a sentinel. He stood guard at the tomb of the unknown soldier. He lived every moment with pride and discipline. The judge, waved her off dismissively. Touching tales don't win cases in my courtroom. Do you have witnesses? Documents. Each word was laced with impatience. To him, she was just another person trying to game the system. Clutching the folded flag from her husband's funeral, the widow sat, the weight of memory heavy in her lap. That day was seared into her heart. The 21-gun salute, the lone bugle piercing the silence. He was more than a soldier. He was her partner, her shield, the father of their young son, who now sat in the pew, gripping his teddy bear tightly. But no paper could convey that. No record could shout the reality of his sacrifice. The judge let out a weary sigh. Without concrete testimony, there's no point prolonging this hearing. I'll issue my ruling. Then, the courtroom doors swung open. Every head turned. In marched a formation of honor guards, their pristine blue uniforms gleaming, medals sparkling under the courtroom lights. Their boots hit the floor in perfect unison, a sound that demanded silence and respect. At their front, a polished rifle was carried with solemn pride. The widow's breath caught. She knew these men. They were her husband's comrades, the ones who stood with him through endless nights guarding the tomb. Their presence was a wave of discipline crashing into the room. The judge's gavel hovered, frozen. His eyes widened as the guards stopped before the bench. Without hesitation, their captain stepped forward, saluted crisply, and spoke, his voice resonating with unshakable resolve. Your Honor, this widow isn't here for pity. She seeks justice. Her husband was Sergeant James Harper, a sentinel of the tomb of the unknown soldier. I served beside him. I saw him march in scorching heat and bitter cold. I watched him stand resolute through storms, never wavering, because he believed no fallen hero should be forgotten. He held up a worn but meticulously kept journal. This holds his every shift, every step, every oath. His sacrifice isn't a tale. It's a truth etched in duty and sealed with his blood. The widow pressed a hand to her mouth, tears streaming freely. Even the steely attorney paled, his confidence rattled by the living proof standing before him. The captain placed the journal on the judge's bench, then turned to his men and issued a command. In flawless unison, the honor guard saluted, their movements precise, their faces solemn with reverence. The courtroom fell into a hushed awe. Even the skeptics felt the undeniable weight of brotherhood, sacrifice, and honor. The judge's voice, once sharp with arrogance, now wavered with humility. I didn't know. His gaze fell, embarrassed by his earlier scorn. Clearing his throat, he continued, his tone unsteady. Mrs. Harper, on behalf of this court, I extend my deepest apologies. My ruling is in your favor. The widow gripped the folded flag tighter, whispering, Thank you, James, as if he could hear her. Her son pressed against her, eyes wide, watching the soldiers who cherished his father as deeply as she did. The honor guard pivoted sharply, their boots echoing once more as they marched out, leaving behind not just evidence, but a truth etched into every heart present. Sacrifice needs no exaggeration, and honor requires no justification. The judge sat motionless, humbled, staring at the journal on his desk. He had doubted her, but it wasn't her words that proved her case. It was the living testament of those who carried her husband's legacy. As the widow left, the courtroom crowd rose. applauding not just her triumph, but the man who gave all and the soldiers who stood to honor him. The lesson was unmistakable. Never question the quiet power of sacrifice, for honor endures, and truth will always prevail. If this story moved you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below.